Know yourself, or the world will own you. If you don't know how your brain works, if you don't know how your animal instincts works, if you don't know that how your hormones kind of works, then what will happen? These capitalists and billionaires will use your hormones for their gains. They will use you for their profit. They will make ads and contents and reels and stuff in a way that which will lead you to buy their stuff more and more and more, so they will use you. And also the inner awareness which you know, which you learn by seeing life as it is, which you learn by seeing yourself, which you learn by meditating, is your protection. This is your only protection from the world, from society, and from the evil forces of the world. Your own light. You gotta know yourself, you gotta know how the world works. That's your only true protection. And that's why we should know that you are consciousness pretending to be a body. Yes, you are also the body. But the main point here is that you are not only the body. You are consciousness personified. You are consciousness pretending to be a body. Peace comes only from inside, never from outside. I'm not saying that money and like the material things are not that important. They are important, but the thing is that they cannot give peace. They can give survival. But if you want peace from another person, another human's body, or any kind of pleasures, then you will not gonna get it. Because every experience starts and it ends. But the only experience which never ends is our own self, for ourselves. We don't end. So when peace comes from our insides, then that peace is eternal. It lasts for a lifetime. The world wants you distracted so you never wake up, so you never see the reality. Society trains obedience, not intelligence, not freedom, not power. These things you gotta learn yourself. School won't teach you these things. Your mind is your prison if you don't master it. But people who master their mind, I'm not gonna say they don't suffer, but they suffer very, very less, because at least they don't suffer the mental trauma which a lot of people have. Life feels meaningless until you create meaning for yourself. The universe inherently don't have any meaning for anyone. The universe is random, but it's you who should create meaning for yourself. There is no purpose in universe. Everything just happens without any reason. But the good thing here is that there is no purpose, there is no meaning. So you are given a blank canvas and you can create your own purpose. You can change your own meaning. You can create it and then you can achieve it. Pleasure is a trap that empties your soul, that empties your power slowly. All kinds of pleasures, be it social media, be it movies, be it even the fast foods and pizzas and everything, you name it, human bodies and lust, all kinds of these pleasures, they slowly make us tired, empty, and depressed. That's why too much pleasure is not good. I mean, once a while, a little bit healthy pleasures, that can be good. But indulging in pleasure in the hope to get peace, in the hope to get something amazing, is just a trap. That's why pleasure is a trap that empties you slowly. Nothingness is the only cure for madness of this human life. So, know that in the end, everything is nothing. You are nothing. Your dreams, your life is insignificant. And when we know that we are insignificant, then somehow our problems becomes way less heavy. We become light and we can now live life fully. That's why the Buddhist also says that Shunyata is the only cure for the madness of life. Lust promises, sex promises relief, but it delivers emptiness all the time. Yes, it is some good action, it's fun. But the thing is that it will not deliver you the thing which you desire from it. Lust keeps humans enslaved to biology. Humans keep reproducing because of lust only. And that's why on our planet, scientists says that our planet should not have more than 300 billion people, but it have 800 billion. It's all because of lust. And now we are left with no resources and we are just suffering way too much. If the populations of Earth would have been even at least like half the population which it is now, then we would suffer less for sure because we suffer mainly for the resources and money. That's all. Beauty manipulates more than it satisfies. Think about it. The most beautiful things are mostly the most evil things. The beautiful girl which you see at the parlor or the cafe, she maybe have a evil heart. Or also the handsome guy you see could be the most dangerous person. The most beautiful flowers may contain virus. Snakes, the most beautiful snakes are the most venomous snakes. That's why it is said beauty manipulates more than it satisfies. Modern humans chase dopamine, not purpose. We all just constantly searching for dopamine in the reels, in the YouTube shorts, in everywhere, in movies, in people, in the news, in everywhere. But the thing is that we are getting way too much dopamine than we should get. And the thing that happens when you get dopamine digitally, then what happens is that you don't have any drive to get dopamine naturally or in practical life, in real life. Think about it. You watch a lot of reels, 2 hours, and you got a lot of dopamine. Now what? Your brain no more wants any dopamine. So the dopamine which you will get out of exercising, out of approaching a real human being for love, or out of earning real money, now you will not crave that much because what? You already got those rewards from these digital mediums. That's why modern humans chase dopamine, not purpose, and this is wrong. Your body and your consciousness operate totally on a different level, totally on different realities, to be honest. Because think about it, the body only wants food, lust, shelter, clothes, stuff like that. But our consciousness wants way more. Consciousness wants to be seen. Consciousness wants to understand how everything works in the universe. Consciousness wants to understand its own self, how human body works, how we work, what we think. We want to achieve a lot and a lot of stuff like that. So consciousness is totally different kind of thing. Yes, it arises from our body, but its wants are way deeper. Consciousness wants peace, while the body wants pleasure. That is the main difference right there. The body cannot satisfy the human brain demands. The body can never satisfy human consciousness. Most suffering comes from expecting too much from life. That's why the Gautam Buddha said that detachment is the cure for life. When we expect nothing, then nothing shakes us. Then we don't become depressed. If we expect something, only then we get hurt. When we don't expect something, then we don't get hurt. Overthinking rots our brain and our potential. We should not think too much. I mean, we should think in a solution-oriented way, but overthinking in a loops. If we think about, let's say, a problem that, let's say, I want to earn like $1 million. If I think that, oh, my parents are not rich, I'm poor, I don't have the skill and stuff like that, then what will happen? I will keep thinking this loop constantly over and over and over again. But if I go in doing the solution, if I go on the AIs and stuff and I go on the books and I research a lot, let's say for 1 year I just study how to become rich, and then I find the blueprint and then I just follow that. Yeah, it's not gonna be overnight, it's gonna be a lot of hard work and smart work, surely. But after some time, let's say 5 years, I'll be rich. And that's how you think. You should think about the solutions, not always about the problems. Yes, we should understand the problems, but after understanding, we should just move towards the solution. We should not stuck in the problems itself. That's why you should take action. Action saves you. Overthinking delays you. Thought delays you. Action saves you. Thought delays you. Discipline builds freedom. Comfort builds cages. Your attachments are source of your pain. Clarity hurts at first, but saves you later. If you are crystal clear about life, then that itself is eternal peace. That's why clarity hurts at first, but saves you later, saves your life completely later. Ignorance feels comfortable, but destroys you slowly. The system thrives on you staying confused. Stress is engineered profit by these capitalist social companies and the billionaires. Modern life is designed to exhaust you, but don't get exhausted. Learn the highest philosophies, non-duality, Buddhism and stuff like that, and there you will find that our life don't has to be this way. We can live with harmony with nature, with peace and joy. The news exists to keep you afraid. Think about it. Even if you don't know what is happening around the world, that doesn't make too much change in your life. That doesn't even make any change in your life. Even if you know that what are the crimes happening all around the world, are you going to solve it? No, you cannot do anything. So watching too much news is a waste of time. You should only watch the news that matters to you. Maybe something happening in your own locality. You should know that for sure. But what is happening in a different country, you don't have anything to do with that. Schools prepare you to obey, to become a slave, not to create, not to have joy, not to be your own master. Jobs reward stability, not freedom. Freedom is earned only when you take the responsibility of your own life. When you gain property, when you gain the stuff, when you gain the ownership of things, when you gain ownerships of lands, when you gain ownership of your maybe online contents, when you gain ownership of your company stocks and stuff like that. Ownership is freedom, not doing a job. Debt is the softest form of slavery. That's why we should always avoid taking debts, loans, and EMIs. Money is essential because society made survival expensive. Money is the token for survival. Without money, peace becomes a luxury. The rich buys time, which is life. The poor sells life, which is again time. Time is life. The rich can buy it. The poor have to sell it. Power matters more than talent in the world. So be strong. Make yourself stronger, because there is no place in the world for the weak. This world is a survival of the fittest. So go hit the gym, go and read amazing books to build your brain up, because a lot of people are physically strong but mentally weak. So you have to take care of both things. You have to become stronger mentally and also physically, because power matters way more than talent. The world respects money, not your morality. Think about it. If let's say a very moral and good person comes in let's say in a meeting, then the people won't respect him. But if a millionaire comes or from his Bentley, then a lot of people may gonna be like taking pictures of him and idealizing him, stuff like that. That's why the world respects money, not morality. A moral person will not even attract any woman, but a rich guy will attract all the women. Without financial power, your truth is ignored. You may know all the truth, but no one will listen to you because most people are stupid and they only see the superficial things. They will see if you have a car, your house is big and stuff like that. If you have the power, financial power, they respect that. They don't care about your knowledge and stuff because they themselves are so stupid, so they cannot think beyond certain limit. So that's why they only value the people who are rich and powerful. They don't value the people who are wise. Your bank balance shapes your reality way more than your dreams because your dreams will be shattered if you were not able to pay your rent, EMI, and your bills. That's why earn money, save it, don't waste any dollar at all. Just use everything you earn in your own growth and try to earn way more. Money is essential. Money solves problems that idealism cannot. Thinking positively or just like affirmation, manifestation, these are all just hoax. This doesn't work. It's just when you go and work, you develop a skill. Let's say you are rich, your parents are rich. Then you gain your father's money, you open a company, stuff like that. Then you will become more rich. Let's say you are not rich, you are a poor person. Then what? If you have to become rich, then you have to just gain some skill and you have to become a world class at that, and then you can become ultra rich at that. So these are the ways. The poor have to be really skilled at something, and the rich also have to build some companies and stuff like that. So that's how money is earned. And money solves our problems way more than idealism ever does. Time is the only wealth we will never get back. So don't waste it. What you give time to becomes your master. Think about it. Whenever you have given your time to the wrong things, to lust, to wrong kind of people, you wasted that time. Also your brain become dirty, your mindset become weaker. But whenever you read amazing books, whenever you watched good videos, then you feel uplifted and you work way better in your own life. You cannot win life if you lose your attention. Your attention should be your attention, not some social media company's attention. Social media is engineered profit, it's addiction, it's nothing good. The algorithm studies you better than you study yourself. And you can also use that for your own advantage. You can use Gemini and ChatGPT, stuff like that, to know about yourself because they track your every activity, be it you watching a YouTube video or be it you searching on ChatGPT for something. So you use these tools to make yourself better. Don't let the algorithm use you. Use the algorithms and AI for yourself. Entertainment numbs you into forgetting your potential. A lot of people watch movies all the time. Some people they just eat fast food all the time, and some are just scrolling on the phone all the time. But by doing that, what are they doing? They're just removing their potential. They can build an amazing body in that time. They could have been like writing a book or something meaningful in that time. They could have traveled the world in that time. But even if they don't have money, they could have learned like dancing, swimming, stuff like that. But they keep scrolling and they waste their potential. That's why entertainment numbs you and destroys you, and it makes you forget your potential. Technology gives convenience but steals our consciousness. If you don't use technology wisely, then it will destroy you. You were not born to scroll your existence away. You were born to create a life which you like, which you love living. And that will only happen once you throw that phone away and focus on your own life more than you focus on other people's lives on social media. Digital pleasure kills real ambition. The pleasure which we get from the phone from the digital mediums, from the movie theaters, from the lust, from the adult videos. This pleasure kills our drive to get the pleasure in real life. And that is the number one reason most people are not successful these days. That's why Generation Z is the most unsuccessful generation ever. I know there are some other reasons like inflation and increasing property prices. But think about it, Generation Z don't even have the physical capability of the older generations. We are way weaker than our forefathers. They were stronger. So why not even we are strong? We can be strong, but all the time we just watch something on our phone. So we don't exercise as much as we should do. We don't hike, we don't swim, we don't eat the right food. We eat fast food and packaged food, and that's why we are weak. Addiction is modern slavery without chains. Be it wine, be it your phone, be it anything. The modern world is full of addictions, and addictions are there only to make you a slave of the system, only to make you a slave of these big giant corporates. All they want is your attention. Most social media companies want that you don't sleep and you watch their content all the time. And all they care about is their profit. They don't care if you don't sleep and then you die and suffer, stuff like that. They don't care about you at all. So you should also don't care about them at all. You should only care about your own life. And also you can help people who are in need, poor people and people who want to get education and they don't have money. Help them. But don't spend your time away on this social media things, on social media trends. This will damage you way more than you ever imagine. Most relationships are just conveniences, not connection. Most relationships are just superficial and transactional. Why? Because the thing is that when we choose, let's say I'm a male and I'm searching for a girl, then what happens is that all we see is all their face and their body, but we never question about their brain, about their mindset, and that's where the trap lies. Think about it. A lot of people looks pretty, but they are evil from inside. So we should see the person's insides, not his shell only. When we will see that a person is, how a person is, how he or she lives their lives, not just their looks. And we, based on their life, based on the work they do, based on how they think, based on how their mindset is, this is the real person. When we go deep in the real person and then think, oh, I love this person's personality, I want to be in a relationship, then we can have an amazing relationship. But if we just see the surface level things such as their looks, their curves, their booty and stuff like that, then what is gonna happen? You can also tell me. Then it's gonna be a disaster relationship. It's gonna be a tragedy because there are gonna be fights. She's gonna be bored out of you and stuff like that, yeah. If a person is not wise, then that person should not be loved. Only two Buddhas can love each other truly. The normal average person is not capable of love, and loving a normal average person is itself is a curse because an average person is just an animal and only a wise person can love, and that's why we should go towards people who are wiser, who live life consciously. It's not that they will not betray us, but the chances are way less, way less than the average people. People love you for what you provide, not who you are. Expectation destroys relationships faster than betrayal. Love without self love becomes dependency. Once you become stronger and self sufficient in yourself, only then you can love people really. Only then you can love people unconditionally. True love is rare because ego is in every person, ego is common. That's why true love is only self love mostly. Most people want comfort, not commitment. Attraction fades, compatibility survives. So, whenever you are going in a relationship, especially in a romantic relationship, see how the person's effect on you. See, watch if the person is near you, and then you feel good, then you feel that if the person comes in your life, then your work becomes better, then your health becomes better, and stuff like that, then your choices becomes better, then that person will be right for you. But if a person comes in your life and then your lifestyle destroys, then your health decreases and stuff like that, you become stressful, but the person, let's say, looks good, then still that person is not good for you. That's why attraction fades, compatibility survives. No partner can fix the emptiness inside you because the emptiness is fake. It is just hormonal stuff. And once you know this, that the emptiness can only be filled by your own understanding, then it gets filled. Relationships break when illusions break. Most people date masks. People wear masks and we date them. We don't see their real face. And that's why relationships breaks when illusions break. When we see their real face, then it break. Family follows tradition, not truth. Truth should be learned by your own self. You can learn it from the greatest philosophers of the world and greatest scientists of the world. But your family, your tradition, your village, your town, those people say anything, but that is further from the truth. So know truth by yourself. Parents pass their fears more than their wisdom because most people are not wise at all. Society worships appearance over character, and that's why society is constantly going downhill. Most people fake confidence to hide their emptiness. But if you are fulfilled from within, then you don't even need any confidence. Then you are joyful, and that will be enough. Humans prefer lies that soothe over truths that cuts. But the thing is, these lies don't last long. But these truths cuts you, but they makes you a warrior. And after sometimes, they makes you peaceful also. People defend beliefs they never examined, they never tested. A lot of people believe that they should do a job to live. But what if I tell you that that is just a lie told by the society? That we can live on our own. We can grow our own food and we can live way better than we can ever live on a corporate. And that's why we should not believe anything, we should always question things. The crowd is always almost wrong. Don't follow the crowd. Go the opposite direction of the crowd, and 95% of the times you will be right. The herd mentality kills individuality. Don't follow the herd. Follow the greatest people of earth. Follow the greatest people that has ever walked on this earth. Don't follow a celebrity. Don't follow your neighbors. Don't follow their paths. Don't follow their careers. Build something of your own or follow the greatest of humanity. Greatest of greatest scientists, actors, singers, stuff like these people. The greatest that has ever walked on this earth. Those are the only people we should follow. And I would say that we don't even need to follow them. We should learn from them and we should make our own path. That is the greatest. Freedom requires thinking alone. The person who cannot stay alone, the person who always wants other people's company, cannot think creatively, cannot think solution oriented. He cannot think, outside of the box because freedom requires thinking alone. Your environment programs you more than your notice. Think about it. Whenever you're in a bar or in a disco, your mindset, your thinking is totally different from whenever you're in a beach or in a mountain. So your environment shapes your mind, and your mind shapes your reality. That's why it's so important to change your environment if you wanna change your life. If you wanna change your emotions, change your environment, and your emotions will be instantly changed. The mind repeats what the world teaches you until you break it. Break all the illusions your parents, your society has told you, and then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And Jesus has already said this: know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Awareness begins when blind obedience ends. Questioning is the first step towards liberation, freedom, and power. Traditions survive because questioning is discouraged. In every major religion, questioning is some kind of banned. But the thing is, we should never stop questioning. We should always question everything. Like why I am praying to this God, why I am doing this job, why I am going to this school. Question these things and question and question and question until you know the truth. Systems survive because individuals don't rebel. We don't rebel against the injustice that's happened against us. We don't unite and fight these monsters, and that's why the system survives. Fear keeps humans predictable. Fear is our greatest enemy. Fear of loss controls more than loss itself. Fear of judgment kills way more dreams than failure. Society uses shame to control your life. People fear truth because truth demands change, truth demands action, truth demands hard work, smart work. Most humans live unconsciously from birth to death, and that's why they suffer the most. The world is full of humans who stop thinking, and the people who think will be the people who will have peace and freedom and money and all the things that you can ever think. Minds built on noise can't feel peace. Silence reveals more truth than people do, than people's talks does. Solitude is where you meet the real you. You are not the person who you think you are when you are in a club, but you are the real person when you are alone in your own room. That is the real you. If you can't be alone, you haven't met yourself. Solitude builds strength, the crowd builds weakness. Stay alone, embrace it, and you will grow strength and weak. And you will destroy your weakness by staying in solitude. Isolation becomes wisdom when used consciously in a productive way. Creativity is consciousness expressing itself. Creating gives peace. Consumption steals it. Creating is way entertaining than entertainment can ever be. Art heals. All kinds of arts, be it music, drawing, poetry, writing, books, even making AI, all kinds of arts heals us, but pleasures of all kind, be it anything, be it even let's say a pizza, always gives us wounds in the end. In the beginning, pleasure will be feel good, but after some time, it won't. Work built from passion feels like freedom, but work which you do out of fear or out of society's conditioning will always feel like a nightmare. Work built from survival feels like punishment. Most people hate their job, but they fear leaving it. You are forced to trade time for survival. Society sells dreams but buys your labor. Life becomes slavery when you stop asking why you are doing whatever you're doing in your life. Freedom is costly because system hate independent people. But freedom is only peace. That's why we should strive towards it. Real education begins after school ends because school is not education, it is only brainwashing. Skills matter way more than certificates in today's modern world. One skill can change your entire life destiny. Think about it. If you become world class at just one skill, let's say you are a world class player of chess, then what? Instantly you will become a millionaire, and that's how it is. It can be any skill. You just become world class at it at one skill, and your life changes. You get a lot of millions of dollars, and that's how it is. It's hard to grow world class at any skill, I know, but once you grow that level, you get everything you ever imagine. Consistency beats brilliance. Consistency always beats talent. Momentum is more important than motivation because when you start something, then you get motivation from your inside, not from outside. And inside motivation is way more powerful than outside motivation. Most failures come from never starting because when we fail, when we start and fail, then we learn and grow. But the people who never start, who keeps this thinking, they are the people who will never success. Because the people who fails and tries, they will one day get success for sure. Even Thomas Alva Edison invented the light bulb after 10,000 failures. So think about it. Even if you failed 1,000 times, that doesn't mean that you cannot success. Success is around the corner and you will get it very soon if you keep your consistency. Most failures come from never starting. Your excuses protect your comfort, not your future. Laziness is a symptom of lack of meaning. When you don't understand your life, then you become lazy. Clarity gives you power, clarity gives you drive to live life in a way which is crazy and amazing. Purpose kills procrastination. Once you build your purpose, once you create your purpose, yes, the universe don't have any purpose for any one of us. But once you create your own purpose, that kills procrastination. So build yours. It may be becoming a millionaire. It may be becoming wiser. It can be anything, but build your purpose and your purpose will kill your procrastination. Your future depends on the habits you hide, the habits which you do in your lonely time. When you go to bed and you do some nasty stuff, those are the main things which decide your future, which the habits you hide from society, from your parents. These are the habits which will decide your future because these are the most destructive habits of humanity. Weak habits creates strong regret later. Comfort today creates struggle tomorrow. Struggle today creates freedom tomorrow. No one is coming to save your life. You have to save yourself. Self-responsibility is the backbone of power because we complain a lot that our parents are poor, still they bring us here, the society is like that. But the thing is that by complaining, I mean, yeah, we should complain a little, but by complaining too much, we are not going anywhere. Think about it. That just happened. Our parents did the wrong thing. So what now? So now we have to get out of it. So we should think about the solutions now. Blaming delays growth. Pain is the fees for transformation. No pain, no gain. Even to gain muscles, you have to go through pain. So in life, if something is worthwhile, if something is amazing, then you have to go through pain. That's the law of nature. Without pain, nothing important changes. Emotional discomfort means psychological growth. Running from pain multiplies it. Accepting pain reduces its power. Suffering comes from resisting reality. Reality stays the same whether you accept it or not. Your expectations hurt you more than the truth. Hope is useful only when paired with action. Goals without systems fail. Goals without systems are just fantasies. So build your habit trackers and build your like the calendar and all these productivity hacks. They actually work if you want them to work. A chaotic mind creates a chaotic life. A clear mind creates a amazing life. Awareness turns chaos into clarity. When you become totally aware, when you become, let's say, 50% aware, then everything is really chaotic. But when you become aware totally, that is the time when you have bliss and when you can see everything in clarity. When you can see that your life is so insignificant, we are just all soil and water mixtures. We gain consciousness from the process of evolution and that there is no God or no one. It's all just the universe which is working. Then you feel that your life is not that important and then you feel joy and then you can just run, sing and dance as the trees do, as the trees dance in the air, as the birds fly, you also fly in your own life. That's why awareness turns chaos into clarity. When we become totally aware, we become clear and joyful. Emotions lie, but patterns don't. We may feel that we are doing our maximum, but if we track our patterns, if we track our digital well-being, if we see our mobile phone screen times, if we see our screen times, every apps, then we see patterns. If we think how we pass the time of a day, then we will see patterns. And those patterns are the patterns which you should see, because if you don't know how you are using your time, how you are wasting your time, then you are not gonna get it back. So emotions lie, but patterns don't. Know your patterns, and when you know your patterns, then you will be free from your patterns and you will get freedom. Feelings are temporary, consequences are not. You may feel you may feel like you should drink wine and have parties, stuff like that. But once you do, and let's say then you hit a car crash, then what? The consequences are not gonna be temporary. The emotion of drinking the wine was temporary, but the car crash is not. It will stay for a lifetime. Pleasure steals time, discipline gives you life. Bruce Lee said that discipline is the pillar towards success. Most pleasures are self-sabotage in disguise. Most pleasures are actually not pleasures. We are just running from pain. And that's why we call most pleasures pleasure. Because they kind of give us a comfort zone from our pains. Easy choices creates a hard life. Hard choices creates a easy life. Hunger for validation is emotional poverty. Approval is the world's cheapest drug. The need to impress is the death of audacity, the death of your own willpower. Identity built on others collapses very quickly. You lose yourself when you try to please everyone. In the world, you should only try to please yourself and no one else. Truth isolates before it liberates. The people of truth will always have to live a pace of life where they will be alone and lonely. Even the Buddha has to go in a forest and has to stay alone for years and years. People fear honest individuals. They want liars. And that's why our politicians are also liars. Speaking truth makes you dangerous. Most can't handle honesty. Most people can't handle honesty because they live on their illusions and fantasies. Illusion comforts, truth transforms. Life becomes lighter when you stop lying to yourself. Life is a short game played too seriously. It is a very short game. Life is, think about it. We are now 20, 30 years old. Just a little bit time ago, we were kids. So it goes way faster. So don't think too much. Take life lightly and live freely. Everything you fear today becomes irrelevant eventually. Even you become irrelevant eventually. Your success, your failures, your biggest success, your biggest failures. Everything is nothing, everything is insignificant. So enjoy now. Don't think too much about future or past. Embrace the present moment. This is the moment for your joy. Time erases all achievements and failures we can ever have. You will be forgotten faster than you can ever imagine. Knowing mortality, knowing that you will die, completely frees you from your nonsense, frees you from the boring life you live. When you know that you will die, then you live with purpose, which you created by yourself. Accepting impermanence brings peace. Everything is impermanent, anything can happen anywhere in the world. Everything is random. And when we know it, then we don't question that why this bad thing happened to me or my neighbor or whatever. It just happened because that's how it is. Everything is random. Nothing stays, so holding tightly hurts. Loss is built into existence. Existence gives us things, but it also takes away. And that's how the existence is. Change is the only constant. Change is the only guarantee. If you don't change, then you will lose. Attachment fights nature and loses. Human nature is driven by ego, fear, hunger, lust, and mainly these four. But when we become higher consciousness, then we drive, then we driven by our own consciousness. Higher point means intelligence. So human life can be an amazing life which has been driven by intelligence, or a life which has been driven by stupidity, ego, fear, hunger, and lust. The choice is ours, whether we want to live intelligently or we want to live in fear and lust. Most people hide their darkness behind politeness. Humans are biologically selfish. We are biologically wired to be selfish. But the thing is that we can break that. Morality changes with convenience. People betray when it benefits them. Loyalty is rare because ego is common, and loyalty has become even more rare in modern times. Truth is fragile because humans are unstable. Everyone has a mask, some have a lot of masks. People show what benefits them, not who they are. People fake faces, fake smiles. Success exposes people faster than failures. When you become success, then you will know who your friends and people around you were really. You will know their real face when you become successful. And it destroys more friendships than conflict ever does. Humans resent what they ain't become. Humans resent what they cannot become. Comparison kills joy. If you have to compare yourself, then compare only to yourself. Competing with everyone drains life. The only real comparison is the old you. Compete with your old self and beat it. And that is the greatest competition you can never have. Life feels unbearable when you forget your inner strength. Weak minds collapse under their own thought loops. Focus is rare because distraction is cheap and available all the time and everywhere. The mind follows whatever you feed it. If you feed it amazing things, greatest things, then you will become great. If you if you love the mud, you will become a earthworm. If you love the sky, you will grow wings. Dopamine addiction destroys long-term vision. Escapism hides problems, awareness solves them. Running from truth keeps you stuck. Only accepting makes you free. Accepting truth sets you free. Facing reality sets you free. Conscious living feels heavy but real at first. Unconscious living feels easy but empty and void. Happiness is not natural, awareness is. Life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. Pain does not disappear, you grow above it. Suffering stays, but your relationship to it changes, your mindset changes. Peace is not the absence of suffering, it is clarity in suffering. The world around you won't change, you must change. Every breakthrough is preceded by discomfort. Your darkest moments reveal your real self to you. Awareness grows in silence, not in noise. Simplifying life removes half of its problems without even solving anything. Just clarity solves half of our life's problems. Convenience weakens character. Strength grows when excuses die. You become powerful when you stop negotiating with weakness. The system fears individuals who can think independently. Your mind becomes dangerous when it becomes clear. The more conscious you are, the less you will fit in the crowd. Freedom requires sacrifices most people avoid. A free mind is the system's biggest threat. Awareness is rebellion in a world built on ignorance and stupidity. The truth doesn't comfort, it cleans everything. The world breaks those who refuses to wake up. Strong minds question everything, weak minds follow everything. Your life changes when you stop lying to your own self. Awareness is the ultimate power and the only escape from inner suffering and all the suffering of the world. When you become aware, when you become clear, when you get clarity, then your life starts to change and you starts to become joyful. The mind is your first battlefield. If you lose there, you lose everywhere else. You are not the story, you repeat yourself. You repeat to yourself. You are the one who can rewrite it. Life does not guarantee meaning, but it always offers the chance to create it. You cannot stop suffering, but you can stop making it meaningful. The more you run from your pain, the more it becomes stronger. Your real self is the watcher, not the physical body. Thoughts are like clouds. You are the sky. They move in. Emotions are passing waves. You are the ocean beneath them. Don't let your emotions control you. You should control your emotions. Because emotions can be controlled in a very easy way. Let's say you are depressed in a room. Just go outside in nature, your emotions will change. Or just punching in a punching bag or running will change your emotions instantly. That's how emotions are. Names, roles, and stories are costumes. Awareness is the real you. Self knowledge matters most because without it, you stay lost in the illusions of the society. If you don't know yourself, every success still feels incomplete. Life does not come with meaning. You have to decide what it means for you. Pain, struggle, and loss are built into existence more than joy is. But we can create joy for our own self. Being conscious makes suffering sharper because you can see it clearly. But also, being conscious is the only way that you can remove a lot of your suffering. The emptiness you fear is actually the deep peace every desire is chasing. All cravings try to give you a small taste of the inner silence, then vanish. Real peace appears when you stop running from your inner emptiness and sit with it. The body always wants comfort. Your deeper self wants stillness and clarity. No amount of bodily pleasure can switch off desires permanently. Money reduces many practical pains, like medicine reduces physical pain. Once you know yourself, money becomes the next big tool for your survival. And just becomes a tool. It doesn't get stuck in your head all the time. Money becomes your tool and you use it. Being broke hurt in real life usually feels worse than being heartbroken by a breakup. Money buys options and comfort, but not the inner calm or meaning. Surely money is so important and it's the first step, but the second step is understanding yourself. The second step is Atmagyan, self-knowledge. In a money-driven system, poor people are treated as less valuable. Time is deeper currency, but money decides how you can spend that time, or how you can have, even how will you have gonna have the time which you desire. Money decides that. Social systems are designed to keep you controlled, not truly free. School mostly trains you to obey and fit in, not think freely. Media and institutions prefer you distracted so you don't question them. Debt, fear, and comfort keep you trapped without visible change. Your phone is a portable cage that constantly pulls your attention. Platforms and apps are built to keep you hooked, not make you wise or free or powerful. Reels, corn, adult videos, junk food, scrolling slowly erases your strength and focus. It often feels like your phone is in charge, not you, of your life. Most people just follow their conditioning instead of living consciously. They don't question things. They don't create their own life. They live the life which their parents tells them or which society conditions them to live. And don't do that mistake because the biggest regret of people is that I should have lived life on my own way. That's why you should know how you want to live and live that, not the society's way. Live your own way. Your thinking has been shaped more by society than your own investigation. So now it's the time to reduce society's garbage from your brain. If you don't shape your mind on purpose, the system will shape it for you. Many of your strong beliefs are just borrowed from others. Freedom begins when you start doubting what you were taught at school, at home, at society, at everywhere. Question everything. The mind evolved to protect you from danger, not to keep you happy. Left unchecked, your mind creates fear, stories, anxiety loops, which may not be even there in reality. Thinking too much without action, kills courage and momentum. When you think you are your thoughts, they rule your life. When you see thoughts as objects, they lose some of their power. When you see thoughts as just matter, just as neurons and stuff, neurons firing, then your thoughts loses their power. Your body runs on chemicals. Your mind wants something beyond chemicals. Your consciousness wants the eternal, the one which cannot be named, the one which cannot be heard, the one which cannot be seen. That's what your consciousness wants, nothingness and infinity. That's all it wants. The body pushes for instant pleasure. The body pushes you towards instant pleasure. Your deeper self wants truth, stability, and power and freedom. If you stay, if you always obey bodily pleasures and wishes, your life will slowly turn into a shallow, restless, meaningless existence. Treat the body like a vehicle to use wisely, not a master to blindly follow. Lust is nature's trick to make you chase reproduction and stay stuck and create people who will suffer more in this existence. Sexual climax gives you a brief release, then brings back the hunger again, and you will never get satisfied by sexual things. You only get satisfied by knowing yourself, by knowing the world, by getting the power and the resources you need to live a fulfilling life. What you really want is relief from inner tension, not just lust or sex itself. If you redirect your sexual energy, it can fuel big creative or spiritual work. And a lot of people has used sexual energy transmutation and they become successful in a lot of fields, be it music, money, spirituality, or anything. When lust is directed into growth, it becomes power instead of prison. Lust promises a magical escape but delivers a short, numb moment. Many relationships are mutual benefit deals, not pure love. People often like you for what you give them, not for your essence or your personality. Love that has no conditions or demands is extremely uncommon. Some friends will stay only while you are unsuccessful. And when you become successful, then they become envy and then leave. And some are different. Some friends will stay with you only when you have money or successful because they want to use your money. Hidden competition and jealousy are normal in many friendships. And it's way common than you think. Family can cut the deepest because your expectations are the highest from your family. Parents may push you toward their fears and dreams, not yours, not your truth. No partner can permanently fix your inner emptiness. Relationships naturally change. Clinging to them increases suffering. It is wise to love others without making them your emotional oxygen. If you truly care for yourself, you always have at least one loyal master, and that is you. Self love means living in line with your truth, not spoiling yourself. Self love is loving yourself. Self love is growing yourself. Self love is doing the things which will give you peace in the long term. How you treat yourself tells others how they are allowed to treat you. If you lack self respect, you become a magnet for disrespect. Saying no protects your energy and time and shows you and gives you the value of your own life to yourself. That's why we should say no more often. Without basic health, all your goals, all your achievements will mean nothing. Also, without basic health, you will not even gonna get your achievements. You will not gonna achieve your goals without basic health. That's why exercise daily, eat right food, don't eat junk food. Constant mental and emotional stress slowly breaks your body. That's why, even if pessimism is real, still we should not indulge too much in it. Pessimism is real, I know. Pessimism is actually realism. But the thing is that the people who stay in their fantasy all the time, those people look the best, those people are the most healthy. I'm not saying you to stay always in your fantasy. But fantasy helps to live a good life, sure. So reduce the time you become, you watch pessimism stuff. A sick population feeds big industries. There is profit in your illness. Tasty junk food and overstimulation digitally feel good but damage you slowly. Simple habits like moving, crawling, jumping, running, sleeping well, clean eating are true medicine for our life. Small pleasures that waste hours add up to major life regret later. Each day either builds your future or quietly ruins it. You likely have far fewer healthy years than you can imagine. So enjoy now, be joyful now. Delaying your real work is deciding to live below your potential. Remembering you could die soon makes choices brutally clear. Boredom is the only time when you can finally see your own brain clearly. Your own parents, you will recognize them when you were bored. If you can't sit alone calmly, you are still not free. Pain gives lessons, comfort often hides them. Growth comes more from challenge than from ease. Because an experiment scientists have done that they have planted like 20 trees in an environment which is so good. They always give water and nutrients all in the right times. And another set of 20 trees has been planted in another environment where they used to give the trees like a lot of stress by giving them way more water, by shaking their roots, uh, by like by destroying their leaves a little bit, by giving them stronger winds and stuff. And what happened in the this research is shocking because the trees which were in the perfect environment, they become weaker and they don't survive a long time. They died way earlier. But the who has trees which has been given stress, which has been given physical stress through wind, water, and all kind of means. Those were the trees which grown bigger, which became more healthier. Why? Because by the stress of the outside, their roots become stronger, and they become stronger and they grown fully and they bring way more fruits than the trees which were in the perfect environment, and their roots were so strong because they have suffered storms. And that's how it is. If we are willing, then our struggles can make us a warrior. Failure is just information about what needs to change in your plan. Discipline is your love for your future self. Tiny consistency actions shapes your life way more than a big thing in just one day. Steady progress beats random intensity over years. A lazy daily rhythm slowly kills even great talent. A job that only pays but empties you is a golden cage. Working purely for salary keeps you tied to others' decisions. Love your work and you will love your life. Following blindly is still slavery. Even if it looks spiritual, true spirituality means brutally honest with yourself, seeing your life as it is and making changes according to it. You suffer more when you defend the fake image of yourself. Ego fears losing control, so it clings to labels and positions. But the reality is that ego don't even have any control in truth. So Don't get depressed just because of your ego. Power is neutral, it becomes good or bad based on how you use it. It's upon the person. Constantly seeing yourself as a victim freezes your growth. Be a warrior. You must first see how the system works to stop being used by the system. You cannot change what you refuse to see or notice. Admitting you are not free is the first step, first move towards real freedom. Quiet strategic resistance often beats loud emotional rebellion. Our human life is a life where we have to fight against our own bodies, our own selves, our own egos, and society, parents, and everything. We have to fight all these things. Also, some of the random problems the universe also will give. But by fighting, we will become stronger. We should fight our own bodies, animal instincts, our society, and random things which happens to us. We should fight all this, and by fighting, we will get freedom. The main revolution is changing how your own mind runs. Tech is powerful when it's used properly, and it's harmful when it's used by a wrong person. Tech is so powerful when you use it, but tech is harmful when it uses you. Using gadgets to create builds you. Using them only to consume drains you. Free apps cost you way more focus and time and energy. They show you ads all the time. Your attention is as valuable as money and even beyond money, so protect it. Time alone is essential for deep thinking and deep work. Don't waste any second, even any minute, on not worthy things, on things which you know that they are disgusting. Don't waste your time on those. Your close circle either fuels your growth or blocks it. So choose your circle, choose the people you hang around wisely. They will make your future or break it. When you grow, you naturally leave some people behind, and it is so normal. Endless craving keeps you restless and never satisfied. Help from outside works only if you are willing to free yourself. Truth may hurt, but it also gives you a solid ground to work on. Lies feel warm at first, but destroys us later. Self-knowledge, neurology, biology, real philosophy, real spirituality is the ultimate priority. Without it, human life is meaningless slavery. Because if you don't know yourself, you will be a slave all your life. When you know yourself, when you know the world, then only you can become free. So self-knowledge is the ultimate priority. Without it, life is meaningless slavery. Inner truth frees you completely. Everything else changes you. Bliss exists inside. Seeking it outside guarantees endless suffering. Seeking it outside from people, from girls, from foods, from entertainment, from digital media, it will give you nothing. Because peace and joy lives inside you, not outside. Awareness is your true nature. Body and mind are just illusions trapping you to live as a slave, but you are the king. Know that. Nothingness is the only cure for all pain of all of humanity. So we should live as nothing. We should walk as nothing. We should know that we are insignificant and live joyfully, completely. Live with drive, live with thrill. That is the way to live life consciously. Creativity connects to infinity. Creativity gives you infinite peace. Express your inner thoughts, your inner truth to the people around you, and then you will know their real face. The enlightened die once, average fools die daily in regret. A person who is wise will die only once. A person who is stupid will die every day in suffering. Attachment to the world is the mind's deadliest disease. It is the greatest suffering. True love is self given to self, not external source, not from external things or people. Soulmates are a myth. Soul work is the raw play of existence. Relationships are seasonal illusions. They come and they go. Love yourself truly, work and love your work truly. Then life will become an amazing experience. Solitude is where you meet the real you. Without social masks, your genuine desires are exposed and you know yourself. The mind repeats what the world teaches it, until you break all of your conditioning and until you live from your awareness and highest consciousness. Only then the mind becomes yours. Otherwise, the mind is only working for society. So, know your mind to own your mind. A person who doesn't understand his loneliness ends up in the desperate relationship. Someone who doesn't understand their insecurity ends up in change, EMIs, debts. Knowing yourself gives you freedom. Then you don't get trapped in the society's cages. A person in a toxic job might feel trapped, not because of the job only, but because they don't understand the fear inside them. They don't understand how their own chemistry and brain works, how society is controlling them. Lack of awareness is the reason they have to do the shit job. They have to do this tragic job. They have to know themselves and know the world to become free from the job. The mind becomes your own enemy the moment you stop questioning it. A person who hides from truth will always chase illusions and will never get true peace. Humans fear freedom because responsibility comes with it. Desire expands faster than satisfaction, creating endless hunger and never giving satisfaction. A silent mind sees what a loud mind ignores. If you don't choose your path, someone else will decide it for you. And it will not be good. It will be only for their profit. A person ruled by emotions is a puppet on invisible strings. The deepest suffering comes from fighting what already is good. You learn more from one honest moment than from a lifetime of comfort. Pain becomes wisdom only when you stop running away from it. Habit is what decides your destiny way more than anything. Habits are our life's deciding factor. Weak foundations collapse under small storms. The future belongs to those who can stay alone without feeling sad, who can be joyful alone. A man becomes unstoppable when he no longer needs validation. A woman becomes unbreakable when she no longer fears solitude. A restless mind creates restless life. A clean mind creates a clean and good life. You become what you consume. So consume content wisely. Most people drown in shallow pleasures, but great people drown only in great highest pleasures. When you feel loss, you lose freedom. When you don't take risks, you also end life's thrill. Emotional hunger destroys faster than physical hunger. Your inner wounds choose your relationships, but that should not be the case. Relationships should be chosen only by your own intelligence. The truth is bitter only to stupid people, only to the unprepared minds. Truth is actually not bitter. But the thing is, how we are living our life is not right. And that's why we feel truth is bitter. But actually, truth is sweet, to be honest. People change masks before they change minds. Consistency is the closest thing to magic. You cannot grow without disappointing some people in your life. Non duality is the highest philosophy. Non duality reveals the ego as a phantom fabrication, a merciless illusion conjured by thought that demands immediate dissolution to uncover the boundless self that has never suffered. In Advaita, the world appears as Maya, a dream projection of the one consciousness, exposing every attachment, self inflicted bondage. The ego is false. How we are feeling that we are a person, but the thing is that the microchemicals, neurons, and electricity in our brains and bodies are giving us a feeling that we are a person, a character. But the thing is that these all are just hormones, chemicals, and electricity. So there is no self, there is no you, there is no me. We are all are just animals, and that's how it is. Human beings are not any special, and we are insignificant, and that's why we should be joyful, because we will even if we suffer a lot, even if we stay sad a lot, then we're gonna get nothing in the end. So it's better to be joyful, it's better to be a warrior now, because at least the experience will be amazing that way. Quantum entanglement shows that we are fundamentally connected. Your consciousness affects your surroundings more than you can realize. Neuroplasticity proves you can rewire your brain at any age. Your mindset isn't fixed by your genetics. The second law of thermodynamics reveals that everything decays, including your own grudges, attachment, and you. Your gut microbiome produces neurotransmitters. What you eat directly shapes your thoughts and emotions way more than you can realize. Buddhist emptiness and quantum field theory both point to reality as a pattern in emptiness. The Vedantic concept of Maya aligns with simulation theory. Both question perceived reality's solidity. Mirror neurons explain why surrounding yourself with calm people makes you calmer. The Bhagavad Gita's skill in action principle anticipates flow state psychology by millennia. Dark matter compromises 85% of the universe. Reminder that most of reality is invisible to your senses. Microplastics now exist in human placenta. Your consumption choices literally become your children. Your vagus nerves connects your gut, heart, and brain, literally validating gut feelings and heart intelligence. Micro expressions last 1/25th of a second but determine trustworthiness, judgments. True love can only come can only come from within yourself. No one else can give it to you. Money buys everything, and yes, it is needed, but it cannot buy inner peace. Inner peace is only come from self-knowledge. Society is designed to control you, not to set you free. True freedom is internal, not external, because randomness is a very big factor in external world. Most people live someone else's dream, not their own. Suffering is unavoidable but can be reduced with awareness and truth. Health is wealth, neglect it and everything else will become meaningless. Legacy is mostly for the ego. The world will forget you quickly. You think that your legacy will carry on? No. People will forget you way quicker than you can think. Your habits will define your life way more than your goals. True intelligence is adaptability, not just IQ. Every organism lives only for itself. Every animal lives for only for itself. Every human being lives only for itself. And that's the truth. Your values determines your life way more than your circumstances. How you react to your circumstances is more important than them. Truth is often uncomfortable but necessary for growth. Real happiness is quiet. Excitement is loud and temporary. Your boundaries define your self respect. Your scars are proof that you survived and you're a warrior. Your story is not your identity. Your doubts are often signposts for growth. Real love sees the truth and chooses to stay. Real growth requires letting go of who you think you are. Real love is fearless. True wealth is freedom of time and choice. Too much money isn't that useful. Money should be earned only to the amount which is important for our lifetime of freedom and peace. And that is enough. We don't need way more money than that. Your energy is contagious. Choose it wisely, use it wisely. Most limitations are self imposed. They are not real, they are imposed by ourselves, by our own brains. True love is letting go of expectations. Most people are waiting for the right time. That will never come because the right time should be created by our own selves. Our choices creates our right time. My life, my choice. It's your life, your choice. You choose your life. Your choices makes your life. That is truth. Watch how you invest your time, energy and money and you will know that how your life will turn out in future. The present moment is all you truly have. The past is memory, the future is imagination. Only current moment is real and actionable. Take action right now. Real strength is vulnerable, not in hiding. True courage is shown by being open and authentic about your feelings and flaws, not by pretending to be invincible. Your life has a meaning, and this meaning is created by only you. True intelligence is when you live a life which is so fulfilling and amazing to live. You are not your job, you are not your relations, you are not any of that. You are just awareness, pure awareness. Know that and you will be free. True change starts internally before it manifests out externally. Because only when we change our thinking, our brain patterns, then our life starts to change. And that's why we should read the Bhagavad Gita and Thermopad. These are the greatest books humanity has ever produced, also modern science. By reading these three, Bhagavad Gita, Thermopad, and modern science, you will know that how human psychology, how human life, how human brain, and who we are, who you are, how you should live. All these questions are answered in Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and also in the Alan Watts books, and Arthur Schopenhauer. These are the greatest people of humanity, like that. And Hinduism is also greatest resource to learn. So there is like hundreds of Upanishads. They have contained all the answers for your life. The language is old, but the truth is still 100% relevant. So know that, learn neurobiology, learn modern science, and combine these two, philosophy with modern science, and then you will know the truth. And once you know the truth, then your life becomes way easier than your past. And that's when you start having the bliss and fun of life, the elixirs of life. Sex is often a search for nothingness, not connection. The drive can be put a pursuit of temporary mental emptiness, a escape, not necessarily intimacy or love. We run from our problems, and that's why we crave sex. It is search for nothingness. So if we meditate and get nothingness easy, then most of the times we won't even need sex to get fulfilled, because we will be fulfilled from within.